Greetings, this is Mr. Nobody with another Art of Making America Great Again. So here we're going to talk about immigration. Now, there is something definitely to be said for immigration. This is the nation of immigrants, the Ellis Island, Statue of Liberty, all these kinds of things symbolize our ability to take in our poor, our hungry, our, I don't remember the whole quote, but you know the one I mean, and so forth. There's definitely something to be said for that. But when we did that, we didn't say to just everybody, and especially as we became more filled as a nation, we couldn't just have anybody and everybody wandering in. We started to come up with rules and laws about these things. So you want to come here? First of all, you've got two basic criteria, manners that you could live here. You can be legally resident. That really doesn't require much of you at all. You should have some, legitimate thing that you do here, a business, a job, a role, something that you're doing, even if it was just being a spouse or a child of a citizen or just somebody who works here, that sort of thing. You want to work here, you want to be paid, you want to be entitled to a lot of the basic, essential, rights and responsibilities and privileges of just living here. That's called the citizenship. It's not the citizenship. That's the you're the alien resident. So that's like you've got your green card, as they call it, a legal alien. And then there's the next stage. Let's say you'd like to be a participant in this whole thing. You want to add to all of these basic human rights further rights that are granted by the nature of our government, by our Constitution. That has to do with the rights that come with being a citizen, to participate in all the processes, to hold a political office and run for that office, to be able to vote, to be able to serve on juries. Some people may not care much for that one, but it's a responsible position. So some of these are obligations too, but they're good obligations, and they are a true test of citizenship in that, if you use these things as they're meant to be used, that is a good test. Now, when we let somebody in, our immigration laws are kind of pokey. I'll admit there's definitely something to be said for streamlining our legal immigration process. I think there are things that can be streamlined. Let's cut it down to the essentials. What are those essentials? Item 1, we need to know something about who you are. We need to confirm that you're not any part of a criminal organization, any like a gang or a cartel or a terrorist group or anything like that that's going to bring any kind of crime or violence into this country. We got enough of our own. You say, well, yeah, those people already here who are really bad. Yeah, that's true, and we certainly have to deal with that too. That's why we have police, etc., etc. But the other thing is, we can control what we let into this country. Or at least we're supposed to be able to control that. And so that way, or just people who have criminal records in their foreign countries, wherever they come from. So we have to check into that. We have to know about that. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to totally exclude an individual. Some young person in name the country does some foolish thing as a young teenager, steals something, whatever, gets in a fight, things of that nature, serves some time in their country, and they've served the time. They're done. They're over. And they learn from the experience never to do the crime or any other crime again. And there's enough years since that time where you can see they shaped up. They're going to do things all right. Then that can be okay, you see. Whereas if they are still involved, or if they repeat, if they become, if there's reason to believe they're repeat offenders, you see, then obviously we have to say, no, you can't come in. Sorry, no can do. Now, that's one part. The second part has to do with this. When you come here, who's going to be responsible for helping you get on your feet here? That's the other part. Someone to sponsor you. It could be a family member, a prospective family member, like somebody who marries somebody from out of the country. It could be a company that wants to hire you for a specific skill, or even just the willingness to do a specific job. Whatever it may be, it's these are jobs. These are roles, and somebody is going to be willing to underwrite the costs of bringing you in, of helping you take care of yourself while you get yourself on your feet and ultimately be able to assume some actual role in this country, regardless of whether it's a kind of doctor or some kind of architect or mechanic or other skill like that, or scientist, right down to someone who just wants to be a homemaker and a mother. All of these roles. These are roles. And obviously, in every case, somebody, wants you and is willing to underwrite the cost of having you here. It's not up to the state. That was an important priority. They should not be a ward of the state. And so that's the other kind of requirement. You meet those two basic requirements, that should be it. You're done, you're set, you're good to go. We know who you are, we know where you're from, you got, whatever we need to know, your family tree, your known affiliations in life, your skill set, what's valuable, what you have to offer, and somebody is saying, yes, I want that person, and I assume responsibility for bringing that person here into this country. And then hopefully you come in, you get on your feet, and when you're done with that and you've proved yourself and you're legally allowed in here, you have the status of a legal alien. That is, you are legal. You have gone through the hoops. A lot of people have gone through the hoops. It's a lot. Like I'm saying, I think there's a lot of additional stuff that's probably not necessary, or at least ought to be streamlined. But the idea is you just carry out the essentials. Get those essentials accomplished, and then you can be in as someone who's here legally. Now, when you want to go on to citizenship, I would say there's several obligations. One would be you should learn about the country, what it is, how it works, and so forth, how to participate in it, should you so choose. And there's a lot of other things. You should know English. I'm sorry, but I think it's great that we try to reach out to people of all these different communities that come in. Whether you're from Mexico or you're from Hmong people, or any variety of different people from different places with different languages and so forth. You go in a hospital, you get brought before a court. You have other certain circumstances that are serious and important. We try to make sure that there's a translator who can understand, and help you communicate, so you can tell the doctor where it hurts, or explain to the judge what you were doing at this suspicious location, etc., and then understand what's being said to you in return. What is the doctor saying you need to do? What has the court determined, and what is your lawyer telling you to do, and so on, so that what is going on. That's enough to be a resident, a legal resident, you see. But to be a citizen, you need to be able to participate in our legal process directly. And for that, you do need English. We're not asking you to unlearn your other languages or your background. That's a great thing to have. First of all, you have relatives in the old country. We respect that. We value it. It's part of the things that made this country great, is all the different things that people from different parts of the world have brought to it. But that doesn't mean that you don't also learn enough English to do things. These are calls for citizenship. And there'd be other things to learn, like respect for different peoples. Because, we're very concerned about, we want to treat people, fairly and equally, regardless of, race and color and religion and background and so on, all these different things. We want to treat people fair. But that is just as much upon those who want to become citizens as it is for the rest of us, because I think that's been kind of an oversight. Well, that's part one. I'm going to continue immigration in the next installment.